In my last video, I showed you how the sample data looks like, and we also discussed about the sample regression line. So basically, I told you that there is a method that we have to follow to fit the sample regression line, but we have not discussed the method in detail right now. The method to fit the line is something which I'm going to discuss in detail in my upcoming videos. However, I did provide you some intuition regarding how to fit the sample regression line. And the intuition was that fit your line in such a manner that the distance between the line and the actual data points is as minimum as possible. Right? So this is the intuition that we developed. And as you can see over here on the right hand side, I do have a scatter plot of the sample data, and I also have a sample regression line. And once again, this line that I have drawn over here, this is not the exact line. This is something that I have just drawn following the intuition that we discussed earlier. Okay. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about the sample regression equations. As you can see, I have two figures on my screen. On the left hand side, I have the population figure, and on the right hand side, I have the sample figure. I have also written the three population regression equations over here. And now we are going to learn how to write the sample regression equations. So let's start with this equation. So this is the first equation that we learned while dealing with the population data. And this is the equation of the population regression line, and this is also called population regression function. So let's see what is the sample counterpart of this equation. So this beta 1 that you see over here in this equation, this is actually the intercept of the population regression line. For visualization purpose, I can extend this line, and the intercept will be somewhere over here. So beta 1 is over here, and this is the population intercept. Now while dealing with the sample data, I can extend this sample regression line. And this point that we have over here, this is actually the sample intercept. And the notation that we have for the sample intercept is beta 1 hat. So the notation that we have for the population intercept is beta 1, and the notation that we have for the sample intercept is beta 1 hat. So the equation is equal to beta 1 hat. Now see, because sample regression line is also a line, so it is going to follow the same structure that this equation has. So in this equation, the first term that we have on the right hand side is beta 1. In the sample story, the first term that we are going to have on the right hand side is beta 1 hat, where this beta 1 hat is actually the estimator of beta 1. Now see, at this point, I'm assuming that you are familiar with the term estimator. You must have heard this term in your statistics module as well. If you don't recall the meaning of estimator right now, then it's fine. Let me tell you a couple of lines about this, and later on in one of my videos, I will also discuss the concept of estimator in detail. So basically this beta 1 and beta 2 that are there on the population side, these are population parameters. And in real life, you will never know the value of these population parameters. So in real life, you have no idea what is the value of beta 1 and what is the value of beta 2. And this is what we are trying to find. So for these population parameters, we are going to have some estimators. So the estimator that we have for beta 1 is beta 1 hat. Similarly, beta 2 is the slope of the population regression line, and even beta 2 is a population parameter. So in real life, we will never know the value of beta 2. So the estimator of beta 2 is beta 2 hat. So this is the notation that we have for estimator of beta 2. That means this beta 2 hat is the slope of the sample regression line. So on the population side, you have the notations beta 1 and beta 2. These are your parameters. And on the sample side, you have the notations beta 1 hat and beta 2 hat. These are the estimators of these parameters. And then we have the independent variable over here, which is xi. So this is the right hand side of the equation. Now let's talk about what is it that we have on the left hand side. So on the left hand side, we have yi hat. You can call it yi hat, or you can also call it yi cap. I prefer the term yi hat, so I'm going to use that term. Basically, this yi hat that I have written over here, this is the estimator of this term that we have on the population side. So this yi hat is going to play the same role that this term was playing on the population side. Okay. And we do have a formal name for y hat. Actually, this y hat is called fitted values of y. Now see, after the introduction of fitted values of y, you have now two types of values of y. So one type is actual values of y and the other type is fitted values of y. So let me show you how to differentiate between these two types of y and how can we see this graphically. So this green line that we have over here, this is the sample regression line, and we just discussed that the equation of this sample regression line is y hat equal to beta 1 hat plus beta 2 hat xi. Now these blue dots that you see over here, these are the actual y values you have. By actual y values, I mean these are the values that you collected as a part of your sample data. So for example, when x is 120, then this blue dot is giving you the actual value of y. So this is the first actual value of y, and for this x value, this line is giving you this value. Okay. This is the fitted value. So this is the fitted value of y. Now over here we have multiple dots. So this is the first blue dot. So this is y1. y1 means the first actual value of y. And this dot is y1 hat. y1 hat means the first fitted value of y. Similarly, for x equal to 150, this blue dot over here is telling us the second actual value of y. So I can write it as y2, and this point over here on this line is telling us the second fitted value of y. So this point is y2 hat. And you can do this for all the other points as well. So for example, for x equal to 390, this is the actual value of y and this is the 10th value, so we can call it y10. And for this particular value of x, the line is giving us this point. This is the 10th fitted value of y, so we can call it y10 hat. Okay, so I hope the distinction between the fitted values of y and the actual values of y is totally clear. So the actual values of y are the blue dots that you have plotted, and the fitted values of y are the points that are lying on the sample regression line. So this is the first equation that we have on the sample side. Let's talk about the second equation. So the second equation that we have on the population side was for a particular household. Yi means the value of the y variable for the ith household. This used to be the average value, and this ui is the population error term, which is telling us the population error for the ith household. Now let's write the sample counterpart of this equation. So it is yi equal to yi hat plus ui hat. So let's understand this equation. So on the left hand side of this equation, we have yi, and over here also we have yi on the left hand side. On the right hand side of the population equation, we have expected value of y given xi, and as I told you while writing the first equation, the sample counterpart of expected value of y given xi is yi hat. So we have yi hat over here. The second term that we have in the population equation is ui, which is the population error term, and the second term that we have over here is ui hat, which is the sample error term. So ui hat is playing the same role in the sample that ui is playing in the population. So to have a clear understanding of the error terms, let's visualize both of these errors graphically. So first of all, let's talk about ui, which is the population error term. Now see, the population error term tells you the difference between the actual y value and this average value. So graphically, let's say if I talk about this particular household, then for this household, this difference is the error term. Similarly, if I talk about this household, then for this household, this difference is the error term. And this is something that you can do for any household. So for example, for this household, the error term is this difference. Okay. And now we can do the same exercise for the sample error. So the sample error is actually telling us the difference between the actual y value and the fitted y value. So if you take a look at the first actual y value and the first fitted y value, then the difference between these two is your first sample error, that is u1 hat. Similarly, if you take a look at the second actual y value and the second fitted y value, the difference between these two is the second sample error, which is u2 hat. And if you take a look at the 10th actual y value and the 10th fitted y value, then the difference between these 2 points is u10 hat. Okay, so this is how you have to visualize the population error, which is ui, and the sample error, which is ui hat. There is one thing that you need to pay attention to. When we talk about UI hat, many students remember this part, that UI hat is the difference between the actual value of y and the fitted value of y, but they forget that how is the difference going to work. So is it going to be the actual value minus the fitted value, or is it going to be the fitted value minus the actual value? Well, as you can see from this equation, your UI hat is equal to the actual value minus the fitted value and not the other way around. Okay, so do remember this part. Now see this UI hat that I have introduced on the right hand side, you can just think of this as the sample counterpart of the population error. And when we were discussing about the population error, I told you that population error can take positive as well as negative values. So basically, if the dot of the particular household that we are talking about is above the conditional mean, or in other words, if the household is lying above the population regression line, then the error of that particular household is going to be positive. For example, for this particular household, the error term is a positive number because this particular household is lying above the population regression line. On the other hand, if we are dealing with a household which is lying below the population regression line, for example, these two households, then these two households will have a negative error term. Okay. And we can apply the same logic to UI hat as well. Basically, UI hat is the difference between the actual value and the fitted value. So if the actual value is above the fitted value, then UI hat is going to be positive. And if the actual value is below the fitted value, then UI hat is going to be negative. In other words, if the blue dot is above the population regression line, then the UI hat is going to be positive. And if the blue dot is below the population regression line, then the UI hat is going to be negative. So for example, this U1 hat that we have over here, this is going to be negative because Y1 is less than Y1 hat. This U2 hat that I have written over here, this is going to be positive because the actual Y value is above the fitted Y values. Similarly, this U10 hat that I have written over here, this is also going to be a positive number because the actual Y value is above the fitted Y value. Okay, so I hope this much is clear. Now let's talk about the final equation that we have on the population side, and let's take a look at its sample counterpart. So the final equation that we have over here, this was actually very simple to get. All we had to do to get the final equation is to substitute equation number 1 into equation number 2. And we are going to do the same thing on the sample side as well. So from the equation number 1, we know what is y hat equal to. And in the equation number 2, we have y hat over here. So if we put equation number 1 into equation number 2, we will get that y is equal to beta 1 hat plus beta 2 hat xi plus ui hat. So this is the third sample equation that we have. Okay, so this completes the discussion on the sample regression equations. So now you know the 3 population regression equations and you know the sample counterpart of all of those equations. Now before I end this video, there is one last thing that I want to discuss over here. So the figure that we have on the left hand side is the population figure, and in that figure we have the population regression line, which is showing the true relationship between the y variable and the x variable on an average basis. Now see, it's not going to happen that your sample regression line and your population regression line will look exactly same. And you can also see this thing in the figures that I have drawn. The population regression line is kind of steeper as compared to the sample regression line. So the intercept of the population regression line is less than the intercept of the sample regression line, and the slope of the population regression line is more than the slope of the sample regression line. So basically we cannot expect the sample regression line to be exactly like population regression line. And this is logical as well because the population regression line is based on the entire population data. It is showing us the true relationship that exists between the y variable and the x variable. Now because in real life we are not working with the entire population data, we are just working with the subset of that population data. So we cannot expect that the line that we draw using the subset of the data, that is the sample regression line, to be the same as population regression line. So there are always going to be differences between these two lines. It's just that right now on my screen, you are able to see the difference between the population regression line and the sample regression line because I have drawn both the lines over here. In real life, you won't even get to see this population regression line. So the only thing that you're going to have in real life is your sample regression line. And your job is to make sure that your sample regression line is as good as possible. And how do we make sure that the sample regression line is as good as possible and how do we fit this line is something that we are going to discuss in my upcoming videos. But for now, just understand this point that the sample regression line is obviously not going to be the same as population regression line. There are going to be differences, and these are the differences that you cannot avoid. These are going to be there because we are working with a smaller data set. We are just working with a subset of the entire population data. Okay, so I hope this much is clear, and that's it for this video.